Okay, and I guess your dad was a lieutenant commander.
Correct.
He was in World War II and the Korean War.
Correct. Correct.
He was also in the CIA?
Yes, he was.
Okay. And I guess he was the lead investigator for Robert F. Kennedy's...
Sirhan case. Correct.
The assassination.
That's correct.
Okay.
The theory was, and if you Google my dad's name, Manny Peña, he assassinated or was involved in between 13 and 30 killings. John Kennedy, Robert Kennedy, Martin Luther King, Che Guevara, amongst others. And he had retired from the LAPD and he had gone to with the CIA. And they brought him out of retirement to handle the investigation you just alluded to, Sirhan. And the theory in the newspapers at that time was to cover it up. They brought a spook to cover up what really happened. And so my dad was a high-profile guy.
Okay, what really happened, according to your
Well,
dad?
I mean, he never told me. My wife, until the day he died, would ask him what happened. He says it was one shooter. But if you asked him about the guns on the knoll when John Kennedy got killed,
Okay.
smoky guns on the knolls, he would just chuckle. And he says, one shooter can't make 4 puffs of smoke, which allegedly that's how many puffs of smoke came from the knoll. I had the privilege of knowing John Connally, Governor Connally, who was in the limousine with John Kennedy, got shot, who somehow got shot in the thigh from an angle that was impossible. And we never talked about it, but I'm sure there's something to the conspiracy theory.
Well, I interviewed Michael Franzese,
Yeah.
who's a high-profile, mafia member from the Colombo crime family, and he basically said that the mafia has something to do with it. That you believe that the mafia has something to do with JFK's murder?
Yeah, I believe that firmly because of what I was told, and there's no reason for people to mislead or lie to me. People, as part of that life, that had knowledge. Yeah.
And what did you hear exactly?
From what I was told, it makes sense to me that there was a deal struck with the White House through Joe Kennedy, and it was violated, and people on the street were very upset about it.
Okay, Joe Kennedy was the father.
Yeah.
Who was in the bootlegging business, the liquor bootlegging business.
Correct.
So he was already dealing with the mafia already.
Yeah, and at one point in time, they wanted to kill Joe Kennedy because he was either double dealing or not doing right on the street.
And part of the deal was, and that's why John Kennedy won Chicago with such an overwhelming amount of votes. And the saying back in those days, vote early and vote often.
Gotcha. That's how he became president. Stuffing the ballots. Okay.
And he's not the only president that's done that, I mean, through the years.
Okay, so you graduate high school and you join the U.S. Army.
I flunked out of university 3 times. Then I joined the U.S. Army.
Okay.
And I joined in when age 20, 1966.
Okay. And what did you learn from being in the military?
I learned that my dad raised me harder. In the military in the 60s, they still hit you, they beat you. I mean, they were pretty awful to you. But I didn't think it was so bad because my dad, beat me. My dad believed very strongly in spare the rod, spoil the child. But when I went into the military, I was more prepared for the stern, strict attitude and training than most of the kids. And I went on to be an officer, and it straightened me out. It straightened me out.